So going to be doing kind of a trade recap for today, or recap for today, but also a weekly recap. So I'll recap all my trades this week, what I saw this week, what I thought went good this week, what I thought didn't go so well this week, etc. So coming into today, really interesting day. We really didn't have much present itself. I'm not even going to lie. But we'll go over everything. So today, interesting. We had this manipulation leg down, coming around market open. Kind of figured, I thought, this might be really, really good if we can come down, take out these lows, and rotate up, right? If we can take out London lows, Asia session lows. These aren't really relative equal lows. They are fairly split apart. They're split apart by about 22 points. 22 points, actually, exactly. So it's quite, it's not like these lows here, which are kind of right next to each other. These aren't really relative equals. They're a little too far apart. So grand scheme of things, they're pretty close, but not close enough. So, which in turn leads to there being a lot of draw of liquidity to both sides, right? We have London session highs and Asia session highs, and London session lows and Asia session lows right below it. So it can be really confusing. You can get stuck in a trade going either direction. Either way, I didn't really like that there was draws of liquidity to both sides and a lot more draw of liquidity, in quote, to the downside here. On ES, however, we only had London lows because London session took out Asia session lows during London session. So we only had Asia session or London session lows to the downside, which, again, it edged it. It was really close, but never took it out. So I really wanted to see it, especially with this would be more of an aggressive long here with this manipulation like down, which I'm totally fine with it. I'm fine with the dump pre-market or right on market open because that means we can get a reversal right after it. And today we just didn't get that. It was really bland today. I thought we kind of just ripped right back up and really didn't do anything after. You didn't really miss out. I felt like I didn't miss out on much. We didn't really have an SMT form. We didn't have, we didn't really have big moves to one side. We never really took out London session highs and then ended up in kind of the same spot here. We kind of made the McDonald's M right here. But this week overall was good. Again, with news, we had such little news this week that it was hard to expect anything out of price action. I'll go over the whole week of this week, and you can see it was just not a lot of stuff this week. It was very frustrating. Coming into Monday, no news Monday, basically no news Tuesday. Wednesday was the best price action all week with FOMC meetings being in the afternoon. Thursday was Top Step deciding not to work, and today we didn't really see much either. So it was overall, you kind of expect this week with the minimal amount of news. We had one really, really good price action day, and that was just about it. Yesterday had you might think this on paper looks really cool, and then you mark it out that, we're actually, it's 9:30 and we're ripping straight down. We didn't really have an SMT that day. It really was just, straight to the floor. So again, it was tough this week. It was definitely a lot of opportunities to lose, a lot of opportunities to win. Again, Wednesday was a really good day to catch a short, and I'll go over actually both my trades this week I ended up taking. So July 2nd, or no, it was not this week. This was 7th, so I believe this was Monday. If I'm not mistaken, it definitely was Monday, or maybe it was Monday. It had to have been. Yeah, it was Monday. It was right here where I got caught up here. So again, it was very tight risk. I think it was $150 I risked on this trade. It was a really good setup. We had a 15-minute bullish SMT. We just took out London session lows. We just blew through this fair value gap. I believe we did not form a breaker block. However, the big one was the 15-minute SMT, the 1 minute market structure shift above this high, and then we also had 1 minute inverse fair value gaps, and we took out London session lows. So it sucked. That was a loss, but again, I de-risked very heavily on that one, so I was fine with it. I knew there was a chance that we were going to rip up, and I didn't. I was willing to have that idea of being enter and have a good entry with risking $150 than sitting out, because I knew with my wins, which how good I've been trading, that I'm going to make that back. Hopefully that week, this week, which I did a couple days later. But again, it's really frustrating. It wasn't really frustrating. I was fine with it. I followed my trading strategy, followed my trading plan, and I executed where I wanted to, and it just didn't play out. It's okay. Moving into the 9th, So this was Wednesday. This was when we had our fucking rainbow day. I mean, literally, look at the 5 minutes, a little fucking rainbow. So, market opens, we rip. I film a TikTok, goes, yeah, actually did pretty good. We are going to the moon. We are ripping. We did not have a down candle until, 9:50, I think we had a little down candle, and then we were kind of consolidating. One of my guys in my Discord actually got an entry way up here. I think it was on this inverse fair value gap when we actually closed below it, which was just a ridiculous entry. But I was like, I need to wait for a little more confluences. Obviously, the 5 minute is not going to give you a whole lot of confluences when we don't have a down candle for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, or 35 minutes. We don't have a down candle. So the 15 minute and the 5 minute are not going to give you a lot of confluences when you don't have a down candle for 30 minutes. So it was a lot of betting on. We took out all-time highs. We took out previous day highs, previous London session highs, previous day highs, previous day London session highs, and all-time highs. So we took out a shit ton of liquidity. It was a ridiculous amount. I'm like, this is probably going to come back down. Did I think it was going to come down this drastically? Absolutely not. But I figured we were going to come back down relatively to fill a little bit of this in, right? I'm not thinking we're going to, take out all these draws of liquidity right after that. It's just not going to be the case. But I knew there's a couple fair value gaps I could target. I targeted the bottom of this fair value gap right here. Or just, there's a 1 minute one right here on this low that happened to be where it was. But I knew we were going to come down. I was fine. I mean, obviously, you see it was ridiculous. It was like a 1 to 7 RR. It was ridiculous. I almost got stopped out on this, actually. But 1 to 7 RR was ridiculous. This was probably the best or the second best trade I've had ever. So it was overall another good productive trading week. I was in the green this week, 600 or 500 some dollars a week. So another good trading week. Stacking them up. It's been 3 really good trading weeks past 3 weeks. I've been really patient. My wins have been significantly larger than my losses, and I'm patient. And when I get my setup that I like, I take the entry, I execute, and I've been doing really good on that. So, I've been following my plan, following my strategy, and executing where I need to. It's been a good few, almost a whole month of good trading.